I want to get your thoughts on the state of 1500 meter running at the moment in the men's races. It's the era we're in right now is one of the most competitive, especially in my lifetime. It's now at the point where you've got Jakob front running whatever he wants in a way. You know, he can front run a 328, 321, 329 to medal at a major games. If it's a quick race, which we're commonly seeing now, you are basically going to have to run sub 330. Each runner will have their strengths when they stand on the start line. And I wanted to get your understanding of, do you run to your strengths as a 1500 meter runner, or do you run the race that you're running? So, for example, if you're running in like a Diamond League Monaco, is it a case of, right, just get on the rail, hang on and try and finish well? Or do you stand on every start line and you're like, look, I know I'm strong in this area, run to my strengths? What's the thought process there, especially as you're now a pro?
Yeah, I think you've got to pick and choose your races. I think if you're going into a British Champs final versus a Monaco 1500, it is almost a different event. Like the Monaco, there will be a time trial where you literally do want to stick on the rail, run exactly 1500 meters, tuck in, don't do anything that expends any energy because you know it's just going to be quick, fast. Even at the back, you're going to be running quickly. Whereas a British Champs might be running probably 15 seconds slower sometimes, where you have to be nearer the front. You might run 1520, 1530 meters, and you know you need to be in the right position at 200 meters to go, because more often than not, the fastest 200 is going to be the person that wins the race, or at least makes that top three. So I do think you have to pick and choose the race and know what races that you're going to go in with the attitude of running that time trial, and which races you're going to go in knowing that you've got to have the fastest last lap. Sometimes it's a lot easier said than done, and you know you're going to go into a race and run the time trial, which was pretty much my kind of mindset at Lausanne last year. But within like 500 meters, it's so strung out, and you're going round a bend and you see Jakob halfway down the next straight, and it just kind of hurts already, and just kind of ruins your mental capacity to know that he's jogging 50 meters in front and you're flat out still with 2 laps to go. So it is easier said than done, but you do go into those races knowing, right, this one's going to be a time trial, this one's going to be a tactical kind of burn up.
I think that if you was to look along the start line at a Lausanne or a Monaco, like you're one of the newest pro athletes in these lineups. You know, Jakob's been basically a pro since he came out of the womb, mate. You know, he's been a pro since he started because of his brothers and everything. So they've been around the circuit. You know, that they've put that pro work in for many, many years, and you've still got that improvement to come, no doubt. But how do you, because I spoke to Jake Wightman about this probably about 2 years ago, and I said, like, you know, can you beat Jakob? Is he beatable? And he had a mindset of, yeah, I can. I have to think I can, because if I think that I can't, I'm never going to do it. With you being in the infancy of your professional career, do you stand on the start line and look at someone like Jakob, or look at a Katir or anyone else who's a world leader and look at them and think, I can beat you today? What's your thought process there?
To be brutally honest, at the moment, if I'm on the start line with Jake, Jakob, Mo Katir, they're probably the only three where I go on the side and go, I'm just not gonna. I don't see a way in which I can beat you today unless you fall over. I just don't think I'm quick enough in the last lap, and I don't think I can stick with you in a 330 race to be able to beat you. And I don't know if that's a bad mindset. Maybe some will come and say to me, look, you have to believe that you can beat them. But I'd say, well, I think you are being a bit silly there. Jakob's not. He's literally unbeaten apart from one race last year where Jake beat him, and Jake's literally the best in the world. So anyone else, I'd like to think that I can beat them on my day, and maybe if they have a bad day. But maybe this year, hopefully, if I kick on a little more, I might be able to close the gap. And I don't want to say I'm shooting for medals at a global champs or going to go and run 328 and beat Jakob at Monaco, but just to even be half the distance to close the gap, or even a third of closing the gap, I'd take that, because to me, I know that's a big improvement. And if I'm, like you said, I'm 21 at the infancy of my career, if I can close a third every year in 3 years, then I'll be with them, and I'd take that. So at the moment, probably do stand on the start line, I think, not beating Jakob today, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. This time last year, I wasn't going to say I was standing on the start line at Commies. So it's hard to really know. But yeah, I don't think I would beat them this year.